Hey guys. Hey,
Hey,
bit of a jump
everybody.
scare. Just suddenly like we're like, oh hi, we're here. What? Yeah, we I was setting up my fan because we're having a heat wave and it's not fun. This is like I mean, like I say we're having a heat wave. This is England and we're having a heat wave. So it's not like hot in the grand scheme of things, but for a community that has no concept of like air conditioning or cooling down and like homes are insulated. It's bloody hot. So we're just having a few moments of chatter because we know there's a 20-second lag usually on these. So yeah.
Yep. Yep.
How
About
how are
20
you? How are
seconds.
things? How are things in New England, Corey?
Right now it's cold, but it's going to get to mid 30 Celsius in a few days.
Yeah, yeah, same. I mean, it's not cold right now, but it's gonna get to the mid 30s. Yeah.
Yeah, so maybe by the weekend I'm going to be broadcasting from the basement.
Oh my god, I wish I had a cooler room to broadcast from. I will. Yeah, I'll have to like just go around with a thermometer, being like, "What is the coolest room in the house?"
Yeah,
Not this
yeah.
one. This is actually the warmest room in the house.
Our
Um,
basement is like the same temperature no matter what time of year it is.
oh, that is beautiful. I wish I had a basement. We have an attic, like a loft, but that's freezing in the
Yeah.
winter and like Satan's armpit in the summer. So, you know. Okay, right. Well, so today, I mean, you'd never guess. Wait, what? There's like actually a stream where we're gonna be doing stuff. No. So today, let me just. Boop. We're going to be looking a bit more at the Codex. So if you've got any Codex related questions, just holler them out. We're gonna answer them all as things go. And I'm gonna like start filling in the Codex of this and kind of show different parts. And it's just gonna be like cash stream as always. If you've got questions about anything else, again, holler, ask. But yeah, we'll just take it easy. Um, so where I got to last time, I think when we'd started like making this, I had I had like copied and pasted my like behind the scenes, so my AIisms, story premise, theme, tropes, that kind of stuff. And then some of the major characters and lore that I kind of already knew about, but I've not done kind of anything in depth. So I want to kind of flesh out my cast, um, and yeah, just go from there. Um, we can also have a go a bit with the new Gemini models. We're going to do that a bit more in depth on Saturday's stream, but for now, we can have a little play. I'll try flashlight. We'll go uber cheap. Um,
And very
and
fast.
oh, and very fast. Like Jean Luc was saying that these finished before he's like finished typing the message. So um, can you give me a list of the characters in the and I'm just gonna ask that because I'm like, well, we're doing this obviously based on. Okay, great. Save a snippet. Uh, Now I want to try and map these. So we know we've got Peter already. We've got Wendy already. We have Captain Hook already. We have Tinkerbell. We have Nana. We have Tiger Lily, Lily Tiger, who helps rescue Peter Pan, subverting that. Okay. So we have Wendy's brothers. We've got the Lost Boys, uh, Mr. Smee, and the crocodile. So I'm kind of imagining the crocodile surely is some kind of glitch in this, like something in the game that is like I don't know something that, or either it's some kind of glitch in the system, or it's like the government stepping down on Hook's research and not wanting him to be innovative. Two vibes you could go for. Depends on how
Yeah.
sympathetic you want it to be, I guess. Like, is it being the government to like makes Hook then more sympathetic? But like the clock is the literal ticking time bomb for this. Um, so yeah. but Mr. Smee we can work with. So I'm going to go character. I don't know how. Is anything else known about Smee? What are um I'm like, what's the I've never heard of Smee outside of thingy, so it's kind of like, well,
Yeah.
um
Can you zoom in a little, Kate?
oh yeah, of course, of course.
Thank you.
Um yeah. Okay. I'm going to call him Smith because it's just entirely bland, like, kind of that, like maybe his name is something to do with Smee or he's called Smee, but Smith, just super. Maybe he's always like Smeeth, and so Smee became a thing. I don't know. I am literally talking out of my mouth right now. But
And
Dr. Smith.
yeah, Dr. Smith is like the antagonist from the Lost in Space series. So
Oh, is it? Oh, okay.
yeah.
Well, this is not as what's it called? Competent.
Well, Dr. Smith in Lost in Space isn't competent either.
Mm,
So
that you make a point. Okay. So yeah, so we'll go for Dr. Smith. Um, need to work out the crocodile.
I mean, even if the crocodile isn't a glitch, it's fun to have characters that are glitches.
That is true, yeah, because
Yeah.
we have Nana. Nana's a
Yep.
glitch
Yep. Yep.
already. So um maybe the crocodile is like a hacker or something, like some kind of like ethical hacker, maybe. Um let's just put that there for now. Hooks. Software as a personal challenge. Okay. So the Lost Boys are going to be like other people in the other characters in the story. Um so it depends on how we end up with the story, whether like how the brothers come about. But okay. I'm going to make Peter Pan and Pan two separate codex entries, I think, at this point. And I'm going to not link them at this point, have them as two different characters. I think just so that they're not, because we don't want the connection isn't made about them until later. So I don't know what his surname is. We'll work that out after. Oh, so Sol says your codec structure is interesting as far as categories. Okay, so yeah, so for if anyone's curious, I have behind the scenes for anything that's not story or like I'm not going to need much in the story, but I want to be at the top so I can easily reference. Like it's easy access entries. Um, anything that's major in the story doesn't have to be people or the characters, although they are characters at the moment. And then everything else kind of funnels down. Um, but yeah, it's not. Yeah, I guess I've not got too much in it yet. So as I fill out, I'll probably add some more categories and stuff. yeah, I mean, if you have any questions about how I do my categories or stuff behind it, let me know. Um, one of the first victims to, or one of the first patients who entered the Pan project. Um, an amount of time. I'll go several months because people like deteriorate really quickly when just lying in a bed all the time. So okay, and then I'll add all missing details. And he's also the love interest, so I'll pop that in. Um, I've only got a few kind of uh, a few entries at this point. Um, I always wonder. So, how would you? So, sidekick, Corey. Would you class that as sidekick to the antagonist or sidekick to the protagonist?
I mean,
Because,
so
like, how does that differ
usually,
from supporting?
yeah. I mean, usually sidekick has a connotation of protagonist, right? But
Okay.
um, there's like, there's also, if you like the idea of sidekick, that word, you could specifically, make a detail called antagonist sidekick,
Yeah,
right?
or lackey, I guess, would be the
Yeah,
equivalent.
see, Lackey Jeff definitely has
Yeah.
like a connotation of antagonist. Um, or minion, there's a bunch of English
Yeah.
synonyms for that.
Yeah, Soul saying sidekick, good guy.
Yeah,
Yeah, I was just thinking 'cause sometimes like you have like sidekicks to the
yeah.
yeah. I guess like when you think
Henchman
about
is a
limited
great,
amount,
yeah,
like
henchman is a great synonym.
yeah, I could add more in. To be fair, I just haven't, I guess yet. um, story role antagonist. Mm, I guess supporting character. I don't have to. Oh, so Bell is the Behavioral Enhancement Learning Library, which is the AI system designed to monitor the patients and control the world and game. Who is based on Christina or Tinkerbell, who's in a coma from unrelated incidents that Hook is making the world to help. So that is how Tinkerbell comes in, and the AI system manifests as a little like sparkling mote of light. Um, so yeah, that's kind of how I've put that into the story. Um, Pan project. Okay, so still need to work out what to do with the brothers and the lost boys. Not super essential to the main plot. Like obviously there are them, but um okay. What are the key bits of lore and key locations in Peter Pan? God, it really is fast.
Hmm. I know.
I feel like I needed a name for the world. Uh, I thought Bell might have been a secret codex that removed all traces of AI in prose. Oh my god, imagine. That would be great. Unfortunately not. Yeah, I feel like I want a name for the land that they're in, but I don't want to call it Neverland
Hmm.
because that's too on the nose. Um, so I guess for now I'll just call it like oh, VR reality place.
Square
Um,
brackets.
yeah, in square brackets. Um, heavily influenced by the imagination and desires of those wired into it, particularly Pan. The infinite plane was a suggestion. Okay. Is there an origin behind that? I'm not sure. You know, like when sometimes things are like related to the lore. Um, fairy dust. I wonder what that is. Um, um, okay, so I'm imagining that um, uh, Gwen lives with her. Oh, so Neverland to Infinite Place. Ah, right. Okay, yeah, that makes sense. Um, her parents live at a garden or like run a garden center, which is also known in the UK as a nursery. Because it's a nursery for plants. So, um, that's how I can fit that in. Um,
I mean, if you give chat the premise of the story and ask for an alternative to Neverland.
yeah. I want is a VR virtual reality explain the inspiration behind. Um, okay, Aethelgard, Chrysalis, Elysian Fields, um, Glimmering Isle, Haven. I mean, the Haven feels very like ominous, and I kind of like that.
Yeah, well, I mean, like the Grey Havens come from Tolkien.
Mm. Although Nortlands,
Yeah, that's kind of nice.
yeah,
Sanctum can be kind of ominous too.
which was Sanctum, Nortlands, Sanctum, and oh, I do like Somnia, but a little bit on the nose.
Hmm.
So I'm just like, so something as like a tip. Tell the AI which ones you like and ask it for it to go for more suggestions along those lines. Like if there's something you like, but it's not quite there. Uh, I'm gonna retry that because I don't feel like any of them.
Hmm. Cloister.
Cloister, yeah,
That's from
cloister,
my world.
enclave. Um, vestige. Vestige kind of feels.
Yeah, vestige feels very evocative too.
Yeah, it sounds like a game as well. Like I can imagine a game called Vestige,
Hmm.
which I guess is what this is eventually being like marketed as. So, I mean, Nortlands also works well.
Yeah.
Oh, I don't know which one to pick. Yeah, yeah, I'll just put both for now. Vestige. I mean, does anyone in the anyone here? Anyone got a preference, Vestige or the Nortlands? I'm not sure. I need some help. I need some people's opinions. Um, so the VR world that Hook developed to house the Pan project. Um, and then I'm going to, in relations, add um, the Pan project, um, Bell, and I guess Hook. Uh, Yeah, I think I'll add those as relations. So it means when the Vestige slash Nortlands gets brought up, these are kind of it's the context that kind of is needed. So I'm fine with that. Um,
I mean, just because the original is Neverland, I'm leaning more toward vestige for like a complete break, you know?
yeah, yeah. No, I can. Yeah, maybe the Nortlands is a prototype or a subdomain within it, and we can
Yeah,
like
yeah,
hark back to it as something. Yeah.
yeah. Or it could also be like a slang term for it.
Mm. The bits that are undeveloped, and so they just go on forever, and there's nothing
Yeah,
there
or
because
uh, like maybe characters that speak in a more sophisticated manner might use the word vestige, but other characters might consistently use Notlands.
yeah. Okay. So we're starting to build up some lore now surrounding
Exactly. Yeah,
Vestige.
exactly. Yeah. Class structure.
Yeah. I'm gonna put class difference or different versions. Um
Hmm.
like depending on when they've arrived or when they were integrated. Like maybe the older characters call it something else.
Yeah. Yeah, because it could be a reboot.
Yeah. Okay. I like this. I like this building up lore, just kind of getting some ideas, getting started. We're building up. I think what I might do now is go into chatting with characters. Is that? I think that's it. And let's just give Flash a go. I'm kind of curious. I don't know how this is going to go, but we'll see. We'll have fun. Okay. Okay. Probing questions. What probing questions do we want to ask? To get a bit of like flavor. Okay. What is your ideal pizza? Um.
These are questions to ask Kate when you meet her in person.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Like favorite beverage. Um. I'm trying to think of questions that also kind of say something about personality to try and like um um favorite and one item aside from your notepad and pen that you never leave without. The thinking goes on for ages. Okay. Interesting. My ideal pizza has to be a classic margarita, but it has to be done perfectly, mind you. Fresh basil, really good mozzarella, a thin crust, and not swimming in oil. Simple but precise. Anything less is just a mess. Okay. Favorite beverage: strong black coffee. Um, I like that noise canceling headphones.
Mhm.
So, okay, so so she has sensitivity to sound. Um, perhaps other sensations like touch too. Like maybe she's yeah. Okay. Favorite and least favorite nickname. How did you come to get them? Might get some backstory.
That's interesting about Wendy.
Yeah, like it's soft and I'm not soft. Like which kind of like is implied in some of this, but like
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, like I was thinking of the perfectionist when the margarita pizza was being described.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah, it's really like falling into that. Yeah. Um hmm. Yeah, I'm an open book mostly. Okay. Um anything you want to know, Corey?
Oh, I was trying to think of ways of like teasing out the personality.
Yeah.
Um, like I don't know. Like, what do you say? Like, what do you say when pointing out that someone is wrong?
Okay, let's see. Oh, it's really playing up on that sensitivity to sound now
Mhm.
that they've
Yeah.
added into the codex. But that is interesting. Like you can imagine that then being a yeah.
I mean, that kind of sounds like what how Gwen has been described so far.
Yeah. Yeah. So I feel like that's a good it's that like stereotypical like male versus female response to situations where like a man like a woman will offer comfort whereas a man will offer solutions.
Yeah, yeah.
I mean I definitely relate more to the man response just instead of I'm like I don't know what to do like tell me how to stop this being a thing. um
What you're saying is you want actionable.
yeah, I want I want to give actionable advice if I'm comforting someone. I'm like, well, there's no point in me giving useless responses. Um okay, yeah. Um be the ideal characteristics that you're looking for in a romantic partner. Why do you think you've not found them yet?
I'm almost wondering while we're in chat if you should move like our images up to the top of the screen.
Oh, yeah, yeah, that's that was not what I meant to do.
Jump
Sorry.
scare.
Oh, it's right now. I've what customize. There we go. Is that better, guys?
Yeah, because now
Uh
folks can see what you're typing in chat.
what? Yeah.
And then zoom, the words go scrolling by.
Yeah. Okay.
I'm not sure if Gwen would use emojis actually.
Yeah, I don't think she would. Um I feel that's almost like that's just them trying to like add in. Um she absolutely would be the type that uses perfect punctuation in texts in the
Hmm.
noughties. She would rather send two texts than use mate
Yeah.
with like the number. Like, um, I'm now thinking, how can I then incorporate some of this into Pan's personality? Because even though he is like, a lot more childlike and like he's this NPC, he's got to have something that she's attracted to.
Hmm.
In Vestige. So Pan's carved out a life for themselves in Vestige. Um, become a leader of sorts over other NPCs. They are. What's the phrase? It's not sharp as a button, is it? Or is that
Sharp as attack.
sharp as attack? Yeah. I was
Sharp
like,
buttons wouldn't be a good idea.
well, that's what I was thinking. Like buttons aren't sharp, and then I was like, what is the phrase? Like, I had a mental blank. Um, they're sharp as attack. And appear to wear their emotions on their sleeves. Cute as a button. That's it. Cute as a button, sharp as attack. Danke. Yeah. I was like, I know there's a phrase with button and sharp and
English would be so much easier if it had 1,000 words.
oh my god, yeah. Like just get rid of half of them and things would be yeah. Um okay.
I mean, yeah, sharp as attack definitely like intersects with perfectionism too. So,
Yeah.
that's a nice thing.
Yeah, nice little contrast. Um yeah, I'm trying to work out like how much to because like some things I guess we're going to find out as we write the story, but then it's trying to work out like how to you know play
Yeah.
around with it in here. um hmm.
Yeah, and like honestly, if you've got like an existing story, you might have like voice sheets, but these are the sort of things that you kind of build up along the way
Yeah,
with
for sure.
yeah, with like nice examples that you see, along the way.
Okay, so what I think I'm going to do, I'm going to start working a little bit on the plot, and that might help kind of like inform stuff. So let's try Gemini Pro. Let's put in the full outline. Working on a romantic thriller inspired by Peter Pan. And so I've got a story concept. Um, using this and the outline so far, can you help me evaluate the best story structure to use. Do I go with something like romancing the beat to tie into the romance angle, or something else? It was romantic suspense, wasn't it? Please.
Yeah, that's an interesting question to ask it.
Yeah, I'm just not sure because I'm like a romance,
Hmm.
because it could easily go to romance, but then it's like, well, also where do I want to go on the spectrum of romance to thriller? Like, how much of a role does the romance play?
Yeah.
You could very easily, like, I think you could very easily go either extreme. It's always good to see it thinking. Does anyone have any questions, by the way? As we've been going through, Okay. Based on your story, concept, and outline, you're right to be thinking about romance and beat. It's a fantastic tool. However, because you're writing romantic suspense, you have two major plots you need to work with: the romance and the suspense. No shit. Um, my strongest recommendation is to use a hybrid structure. So either 3 acts, save the cat, and then weave in the beats from romancing the beat, though, to make sure the romance develops at a satisfying pace. Ah, clear actional beats. Um, okay. I like this.
Hmm.
Okay. Two sentence summaries of each chapter. Alongside you saying where in romancing the beat slash save the cat. Save. Am I right in happen? Please don't meet up till later. Kind of curious. But yeah, no, it's very interesting that it's kind of like getting these things and like it's being like, oh,
Yeah.
you want to, because I kind of like that was what I was thinking I'd have to do, some kind of merge, and it's nice to kind of have that confirmed.
Yeah, when we first started playing around with Gemini Pro in March, I mean, outlining was one of the things that it consistently like did well.
That is true. Well, we were doing stuff in December with, or was that Gemini 2? We
Yeah,
were doing it
yeah,
with. I mean, even in Gemini
yeah.
2 was doing really good at, yeah. Um, bum 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 bum.
Can you tell it can write?
Yeah, that is going on for a while. What did you say? A 64,000 token context,
Yeah,
or like
output.
output?
Yeah, yep.
Jeez, I'm kind of curious if I split this off and then go into the plan, how many chapters I'd put in here just randomly. 32.
Hmm.
So interesting that it's. I guess it's maybe it's tried to map things. Um, so this doesn't work for me because I need to move my mic so I can see the chat. Okay. Right, that basically is what I'd put, so it's good to know. Yeah. Okay. I mean, again, um, maybe that, to be fair, would merge into chapters 3 and 4 merge together because that's such a short moment.
Hmm.
Yeah. So I mean, these all do need to be like expanded more, but it's given me a good idea of where to start. Okay, yeah. So starting to get. I like how it's kind of mapping where things are overlapping.
Yeah, that helps.
Yep, that makes sense. Okay, and now these are ones where I've not given it any kind of like guidance.
Hmm.
So I I'm going to put this in, but then when you're kind of like, okay, well, where do I play with that? Because I feel like this obviously something happens in the background. It's not You're not going to see it, and so it's then like, um, maybe summoned by James. Um, want to immediately go and like investigate more, but be reckless. Like I feel like something's got to happen that just like forces her into like acting without thinking,
Right, right.
and that's how like the hubris, yeah, things go wrong. Wait, when were the changes? Oh, because the environment's hostile. Okay. Or does she wake up? Well, no, because she wouldn't. She'd have been taken as there. So. Mm, um, okay, this is you know, when you're like looking things, it's just like, oh, okay. Um, yeah, it rejects me. I'll just put that there. Pan no wanty. Eventually convinced to wanty. Yeah, sure. So now I'm like, okay, well, we've got like, you know, the 4 characters
Mhm.
in, but then it's like, okay, well, what about everyone else? Okay. This is great. Let's now work out how the other characters fit into this. So far, we have Nan. Who else do we have? Smith, i.e. Smee. To be fair, we don't have many other characters. Also like to incorporate the Lost Boys, i.e. other patients in comas that are... I always spell incorporate wrong. Suffering in the same way as Peter. Finally, how might yeah, no, let's see how this goes.
Mhm. This will sometimes show you how, like, you can work in other future characters too,
Yeah,
by seeing with what it does with Nan and Dr. Smith.
yeah, because I was kind of wondering, is it going to give me like, or like, do I need to ask like, where am I missing characters? Like, if sometimes it feels
Yeah.
like there isn't enough in there.
I
So
mean, so
far,
far, I really like the fact that it hasn't tried to stuff them into every chapter,
yeah, yeah, it kind of
chapter
realizes
six,
when is
chapter
appropriate.
9. Yeah.
Let's... Oh, is this? I love being able to
Yeah.
pin multiple things. It makes such a difference. Yeah.
When do you upgrade to an ultra wide gaming monitor? Those the questions.
I know. Well, I only got this last year, so I feel
I
like I
know.
don't need a bigger monitor, but I also want a bigger monitor. I'm like, oh,
Yeah,
27 inches isn't big enough now. But then
yeah.
imagine how much I'd have to zoom in if I was doing streams, like how many times I'd have to.
I know.
I guess at that point you'd end up having your screen split and you'd have like two sides, but oh, that was I forgot that because obviously my outline is different to this one. So
Yeah, the numbering changed.
26, 27.
I love that it points out that Nan is not a number.
Oh yeah, it's the full it is like no, she is not a number. She is. Yeah, that's fine. Is the perfect personification of the story's Ghost in the Machine. It's a tool, a guide, a visual representation of Gwen's secret weapon he never took. Its appearance should be directly tied to the backdoor Dr. Tiger created. Chapter 9? Yeah. Oh my god, sniffing out the data logs. Ah! Yes, this is what I wanted. A sacrificial rock. No, don't kill the pupper. I mean, it has, but oh my god, what? Poor Nana.
It clearly doesn't know the writer it's working with. That
Although,
should that should maybe be in your persona, Kate. Dogs are always safe at the end of every story.
yes, dogs cannot die. Um, although I do like that at the moment. Like she gifts Peter a puppy that,
Yeah,
or maybe
yeah.
Peter gifts her it. I feel like Peter gifts Gwen a puppy that looks, because then that kind of.
Yeah.
Why isn't Nana showing? Oh, it is registering. It just wasn't underlining. Oh, it's because I wasn't scrolled down enough. Lol. Okay, Smee. Perfect real-world antagonist to get his hands dirty, allowing Barry James / Hook to maintain his charming, untouchable public persona for much longer. He represents the direct physical threat. I don't think they ever saved Tiger Lily as well, so they probably should do that and help her.
Yeah, yeah.
Hello, Ivan. How are you doing? Okay. Okay, that makes sense. The Smith. Okay, well, I'm not going to do that. It's 18, so we're just before that.
I like how it's given Smith more screen time.
Yeah, it's like, these are all the times where he appears. It's nice that. Oh, you're welcome. Yeah, we'll be here for a little bit longer. We're just at the moment sorting out. Well, we were doing a bit on the Codex, building up the plot, just kind of like tinkering along. That's fine. Well, at least the laundry's going to die. At least the laundry's going to dry quickly. God. Okay. Hmm. Hmm. It's giving me a lot of options, actually.
Hmm.
So I'm going to ask now, which do you feel have the biggest impact on the story? Or would? I'm kind of leaning towards at the moment either she's put into the project or is used as like collateral or like,
Hmm.
bargaining chip.
I mean, the other one that caught my attention was killed by Dr. Smith.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, those are all good reasons, actually.
Yeah. Forces her to become the mentor. Mm. Oh, and it's even told me how to weave it in.
Yeah,
Beautiful.
I was about to say
Yeah,
you should
see,
ask it where.
yeah, it's like no, I know.
That's lovely.
Oh, beautiful. Thank you, Gemini. Um, Great start. I like this. I feel it needs to weave into more chapters to be fully. I feel like I hate the term flesh out.
Mm,
It's just like not a very pleasant phrase, but there's no real, I don't know what, bulk it up. Like none of the phrases for like expanding
yeah.
upon are particularly like attractive to say or look at. Um
Yeah. And the best phrase is usually the one that you would use with a fellow person, you know.
yeah, because like fleshing out a character is exactly what you do and it's what you would say,
Yeah.
but it just sounds so gruesome. um okay, I like that. Like she's also looking for, I
Hmm.
feel like a hook appearance there maybe would work. I feel like this, I would need to do like this feels very like introspective. Like there's nothing happening in this chapter, so I feel like you'd have to work
Yeah.
out how that's being conveyed. Oh, I like that. I mean, like I there are probably bits that I need to delete still, but I'm just kind of like I'm just kind of doing things
Hmm.
lightly, adding things in. I can, cool. Um, yeah. I mean, like that feels like a it needs still needs like a fair amount of work, but it feels
Hmm.
like a story that is taking shape and I could do. Um, I'd be kind of interested in writing this a little bit pantsery,
Hmm.
like see how the AI can fill things in, maybe give it some characters because like otherwise it's going to go full on AIism mode. But So maybe like make a bunch of like background characters or something that can get pulled in.
Hmm.
It'd be interesting
Yeah.
to see what how just with like the storyline and like now that AI can write that kind of couple of thousand words, just seeing what story it comes up with and like the bits that come in that then you can jump off and add into planning later. Like I think that would be interesting.
Yeah, because I mean, even with say like 500 words of consistent lore, it's going to have a lot to pull from.
Yeah.
And well,
Yeah.
and as you generate each chapter,
Yeah,
it's
that builds upon the lore as well.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, I feel like maybe then next week it's a matter of continuing with the lore of the Pan project and getting the final characters kind of like, sorting out the journalist stuff, like the what the journal is, other people there, that kind of stuff.
Hmm.
And then yeah, we can just jump in and keep adding as things go on. So I feel like there needs to be more background so that it has stuff to pull from.
Yeah,
But yeah,
yeah. Yeah, but I mean, the going through the iterations with Gemini Pro on the outline was very straightforward.
yeah, it really did well for that. But yeah. Does anyone have any questions before we wrap up for the session? We're going to spend some time on Saturday doing a more thorough comparison of the three Gemini models and basically see at what point in usage does it, like the cost to use ratio. So like for what things do you not actually need their more powerful models? But yeah, if anyone has any questions, please let me know. If not, yeah. Have you got any things left to add, Corey?
No, no. I'm yeah, definitely looking forward to Saturday.
Yeah,
Um,
I think it's going to be interesting. We won't
yeah,
quite be doing blind testing this time because we're kind of it's not looking at like for like models. But we're going to see how far we can push the three Geminis. Um, talking about world building, is it considered so? Some AIs have access to websites, but I don't think you can't like access them yet directly through Novelcrafter. It is on our roadmap if you go onto the feedback.novelcrafter.com. I
there's
think it's there.
I think there's still though a few like open router models that have search enabled by default.
Yeah,
And I
right.
think they have like the dash search in the title
Okay, let's have a look.
of open
Um,
router.
okay, yeah. There's so yeah, even GPT-4 Mini. There's versions. Um, Llama, Deep Hermes. So you can use those models and they have access to the web. But yeah, okay. Well, I'll see y'all on Saturday. I'm looking forward to it.
Yeah.
Um, yeah. Um, see you soon.
Thanks everybody.
Bye.